Here we go, dude. All right, so we're heading down to Mille Lacs Lake this morning. It's freaking 5:50, pretty much like the normal time that I take off in the morning. Like between like 5 and 6 is usually when I roll out. And pretty much wake up at, you know, between 3:30 and 4, get ready to go. And I usually gotta stop by the gas station. Whoa, dude, 339. What happened? That is freaking insane. 339 a gallon. Just the other day, it was like 309 up in town here, dude. And this is the freaking poor side of town. But yeah, wake up every day at between 3:30 and 4. And like 2-3 days a week we'll hit a workout before we go or something. But this morning, no workout, man. We just got up and got after it. I really despise getting freaking gas. I gotta fill both up. The drive's not terrible because, well, okay, so it's an hour to the east side from my house. Right now we're headed down 25, so we're going to the south end of the lake. South end from my house to Cove is only like 40 minutes or something. And then if we were to go like all the way to Isle, we're looking at like an hour. I grew up like down this deal right here, further down, and worked on a little farm down here too. I'll show you where that is. Like back in the day when I was younger, every single one of these cow pastures had cows in them. And then over the years, dude, you just watch dairy farms, because there were dairy farms all over this park. All right. So we got quite a few other boats out here today. No one can see this bait. The Minnesota team trail's down here today, and I just talked to a guy. Their official practice started today, so we're gonna be dealing with that. But the nice part is a lot of times when it's just practice, a lot of guys will just be out scanning around looking at stuff. So we're here to catch them. We might look around a little bit and scout some stuff, but for the most part, we're here to catch them today. So this weather right now sets up perfectly for what we're trying to do today. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up and down this thing. I think they're gonna be shallow just because of the algae bloom, like we were talking about before. I'm looking at the water right now, and it does look a little tingy, which is not totally normal. But today is probably gonna be a lot of scoping around for fish. I mean, that's just pretty much what you gotta do out here. So I'm gonna fire up my 360. They were on this deal really good the other day, but obviously they'll move. That's smallmouth here today, gone tomorrow. But basically what I'll do is I just pulled up to this little deal. It's a high spot. And one way that I like to cover it is I like to multitask a little bit. I'll scan a little bit with my live scope, and I'll kind of just throw like a moving bait of some kind around. I'm gonna start with a hair jig. Mainly what I'm here for is I'm here to like actually see the fish. But some of these high spots, they produce and sometimes they don't. And if they're on the top of this thing and they're willing to chase some baits around, we'll figure it out like real fast here. There they are right there. Okay. So I just seen like 3. I'm gonna try and get them to eat quick. I don't know if they're going to. Oh, they're like right in front of us. Wow. Took a minute. He was there. Ooh, what do we got, dude? He's not mega status. I think he's like a 3 or 4, but usually it's a 4-pounder that lives on this. Usually there's more than one, but there's only one today. Jeez. I don't think he's not gonna make it easy on us, that's for sure. He's okay. He's a good one. I'm gonna go right there. Oh, he's good. Dude, look at this thing. Oh. It's okay. Just relax, dude. Look at him. What's up, guys? We are back. It is end of July right now. We're walking into August. These are going to be probably like the most effective baits and my favorite baits to use this time of year. Like we always do, like last year, we got some of the same stuff that we're showing, but it's because it works, plain and simple. So I'm going to start off with the drop shot. You know, July and August are really good months to throw this thing, and I think that the most important part of it is going to be how long your leader is and where the fish are positioned in that water column. You know, I have a little bit longer of a leader on this, or tag end, I should say, that really makes a difference. It keeps that bait just a little bit higher. And then I am using the Somatis shot. This thing is just a fish catcher. I nose hook it. And then if I do use like the owner cover shot hook, like you guys have seen me use before, I will actually take the whole bait and thread it onto the hook. But nose hooking this guy, this is a VMC drop shot hook. And then we are running a 7-foot light drop shot rod by Daiwa. And then the Daiwa Fuego 4000 LT, great $100 reel, 10-pound or 8-pound test braid. It's Daiwa J braid, and then we got a 8-pound test leader on it. We have the finesse football jig by Somatis Baits. I have not shown this one for August and July, but I'll tell you guys what, this thing is awesome for dropping on boulders and fishing those transitions where those fish like to get on. You know, I got a little rage tail on the back of it, and I probably could cut it down just a little bit. Another awesome trailer is going to be that hollow tip worm. That's a great trailer too as well. And this is just another different look that they don't see very often. And this is a 1/2-ounce tungsten finesse football jig by Somatis Baits. And then I have it on a 7-foot 3 medium action rod, and it's got a faster tip on it. And then all 20-pound fluoro on a 7.3 Daiwa Tatula SV. Like I said, like this thing can work good shallow or deep on transitions or on isolated boulders. It doesn't really matter. It's going to catch them. Not really a search bait, but a really good sharpshooting bait. Same thing with the drop shot and with any of these other baits that are bottom contact baits. One thing to really play around with is going to be the weights. And if you utilize your live scope good enough, you're going to be able to tell what kind of fall those fish are actually really looking for. So on my drop shot bait, I'm using like an 1/8 ounce weight. And it's primarily because I'm fishing just a little bit shallower, 12 feet and under today. But if I was going to go a little bit deeper, I might jump up to like a 3/16. But again, I'm really watching my live scope to see how those fish are reacting to the fall, because that's going to tell me what size weight to use. Sometimes they want that thing darting at them, and sometimes they really want it to be nice and slow, and that makes them happy. So we have the Ned rig, and the Ned rig is going to catch them all year round. Spring, summer, fall. It's just a great all-around bait. And I'm out of hollow tip worms right now, so I'm using a little Yamamoto Ned floater. And we got this on a 7'3" St. Croix Legend Tournament. I can tell you guys one thing about these Legend Tournament rods. These things are absolutely awesome. You know, this is a 7'3". It's super, super light. The sensitivity is awesome on it. And you don't have to line watch as much once you get into those more sensitive, higher end rods. Great rod though. I absolutely love it. It just feels like nothing in my hand. I'm running it with a Daiwa Tatula 3000 LT, 10 pound Power Pro SSV2. And then we got 10-pound Seagar and Vizix on it. Same thing with the Ned rig. This one just happens to be a 332nd, which is super, super light. But today, me and Ethan have been out fishing today, and what I've been noticing is that those fish are not going to want this thing to dart at their face. They want it to fall nice and slow. This is like the perfect weight for fishing that 12-foot and under, especially when they're looking for a slower fall. A great search bait across transitions, like from sand to rock, chatterbait. You can move a little bit of water with it. Right now, this time of year, now you have a bunch of bait swimming around. I've been noticing tons of perch, little perch balls and bait balls all over on the shallow parts of the reefs. This is going to be an awesome way to chase fish down or to search for fish. This is a jackhammer chatterbait, 1/2 ounce. And then when I get under like 10 feet or 12 feet, I would maybe run a 3/8, but it's all about the retrieve with this thing. I just don't think that I catch them as good when I burn it. Sometimes I even let this thing hit bottom and then I'll pick it up off bottom and start retrieving it again. I got a Yamamoto Seiko, which probably could get changed now. And then we're using a fiberglass chatterbait rod. This is a 7'3", medium heavy, and it is the deal as far as chatterbait rods go. I'm not really a big fiberglass guy, but this is definitely the way for me to fish it. I just feel like I can get really good hook placement with this without having to do too much work. So I'm not swinging on them with this setup. I'm not really swinging on it. I'm more or less dragging it or pulling on it. And then once I feel the bite, I kind of just let the recoil of the rod catch the fish itself. And you don't miss too many with this thing. Like, the landing percentage is pretty high. I'm pretty impressed with it. We got an 8-to-1 Daiwa Tatula Elite with 20-pound fluorocarbon on it. And I'm actually running Daiwa Samurai fluorocarbon on that. I really like the Daiwa Samurai fluorocarbon right now. That stuff is like my new favorite jam. I got the same deal, Ned rig, on a 7'3" medium rod, but on this one, I actually got an 1/8 ounce instead of a 332nd. That's for when I want to pop out, fish these fish just a little bit deeper in that 12 to 15 range. This time of year, you're going to find fish spread out all over the place. You know, I've been seeing them shallow and I've been seeing them deep. There's some places even in 20 feet where I found them. So this is a great light bait to fish deeper water in. That 332nd just doesn't get down there as quick as I want it to. Honestly, if there's any type of wind outside, 332nd is hard to get it to go exactly where you want it to go. So this is kind of your like heavier, lighter weight to throw. So 1/8 ounce Outcast Tackle Perfect Ned with a Somatis Baits hollow tip worm on it. And this is like my favorite color, pumpkin sky. So it's green pumpkin with blue fleck on it, and it's just freaking awesome. It's such a good color, especially on Mille Lacs. And then we're just running it with a Daiwa Tatula 3000 LT Power Pro SSV2 with 10-pound fluorocarbon on it. We have a Wacky Senko, which fish get pretty finicky this time of year, and when you do find them up shallow, oftentimes they're going to be feeding up. You know, it does not shine in like a perch in a perch hatch environment, but when they are feeding on bugs, this can be the deal because they are facing up and it floats super, super slow. And when I'm not using, like, if I'm not going to ping a minnow, like one of these guys, like a Demiki or like a hover rig style bait, I'm going to lean on this Wacky Senko. I think that I can just keep it in the water column just a little while longer than I can with this, and I can play with those fish and get them to game on it. It's a really effective bait early July for sure. Running it with a 7'3" medium power rod. I got the older Daiwa Exist on it with Power Pro SSV2 10-pound test to a 10-pound test leader. And then I do use a Nico hook, and this one's a little bent. I should probably change it out like now, but I use a VMC Nico hook on it, like a number 2, and it works pretty dang good. All right. Last but not least, we've been talking a lot about perch hatches, and you know, a swimmer is going to work really good, like a Kitech, Easy Shiner, or even we got a new swim bait coming out by Somatis Baits like very soon that I'm pretty excited about that I'll be able to show you guys. But when it comes to chasing down perch chasers, I really like a spy bait, especially in the summer months. And the spy bait just has just the right action to make those fish commit. You know, you got 2 little props on this thing, and I believe this is a Dual Realis 80 spin bait. And as you guys can see, there's 2 little props on it. And with these Dual Realises, they're a little bit more expensive, but the props spin very, very good. They don't get jammed up. When they do get jammed up, it makes the bait not swim right, and you don't get as many bites. So that prop spinning is really, really important. And then one thing to note about the spy bait that I think is really important is, you know, you hear guys talk about bending out hooks a lot on these things. Look at how small those trebles are. I don't even know what size they are, but they're really small and light wire. Oftentimes what I like to do is throw it with a hair jig rod. So we're talking 8-pound test to an 8-pound leader. I'm using an 8-foot hair jig rod. It's crucial to use lighter tackle or lighter line and a lighter rod for this thing so that your hooks don't bend out. I've had this spy bait for like 2 or 3 seasons now, and I've caught quite a few fish on it, and the hooks are not bent out. As you guys can see, they're pretty good. So for July and August, you know, the fish right now, it's July 20th, I believe, Thursday or something like that. And right now, I'm not finding a giant population of fish that have moved deep. There are some fish that have moved deep, but there's not, the vast majority of them haven't yet. You got a lot of things going on right now. It still seems like the algae bloom has not taken off yet. So when that does start to happen, you know, fish are going to stay tight, shallow until that starts to dissipate a little bit. Once that water clears up, you'll start to see a lot more fish move into that 20 to 28 foot range. I'm just not seeing it right now. I've been out here for most of the morning, and all the fish that I've caught have been in like 12 feet or less, dang near. So, you know, one thing that you can do when you get out here is definitely spend some time behind the big motor, scan around, just look for stuff that looks good. Those sand to rock transitions can be really good. And if you get around bait, that can be a good strategy too as well. Oftentimes, what I've seen so far today anyways, is going to be fish are just a little bit picky, and it takes a little bit of finessing to get them to bite. But if you put the right bait in front of their face, or if you put enough baits in front of their face that they haven't seen, they're probably going to chew pretty good. It's actually dark enough up here. There it is. Come on, does he got it? It's actually dark enough up here, dude, where like, I'm not sure if they can see the bait very well. Because a lot of times the fishing gets a lot tougher when it looks like this. Like, it looks like someone dumped sand in the water. Oof. Is it hurt? Oh God, dude, he pulled all of them off the rock. He like does not want to come up right now. This is gonna be like a 3-pounder. It's just a light rod, so. Where'd he go? I can't move this fish, man. Where are you, dude? I can't even see you. I just see a freaking fin. There's my bait, way up the line. There he is. He's not big. He's starting to give up. There we go. Dude, he's actually pretty fat. They wouldn't need a chatterbait. Oh wait, I'm gonna try a spy bait once too. They're smallmouth. I've never worked so hard for a freaking bite. Like, Jesus, dude. So it took us, oh my God, dude. I wonder if you need a paddle tail right now. I really do. I don't know how big he was. He wasn't huge, I don't think, though. You ready, dude? Oh, no, not quite. You ready? Can I do it? No? He's not huge. God, dude. Just can't horse him. Wow. This thing's fighting like he's goddamn 6. No, he's not. He's wearing it. Spy bait to the face. If you guys are looking to book a guide trip, you can private message me on any of my socials. We're still fishing the pond all the way through until October, dang near. If you guys are interested in any of the baits that I got, go ahead, scroll down to the description. On the bottom, I'll post links for all the stuff. If Omnia doesn't have it in stock, I'll still leave the link on there, and you can hit the email me when it's in stock button. They'll send you an email, and you guys will know right where or right when they get it in stock. One free way that you guys can support my channel is if you guys go to the bottom, hit subscribe. I got a lot more content on Mille Lacs and even largemouth stuff too. So I've been working with the camera guy for a little while now. We got to put out some stuff, but until then, guys, we will see you guys on the water. Took a minute.